Travis, I'm hoping you can help me again. I have
Sure.
this buyer, and they're a first-time home buyer. They're starting out in their career. They really don't have much savings, and they really want to buy. They understand that this is going to, build equity for them faster than anything else. But
Yeah.
how do I get them into a house?
Good question. Couple different ways. First, there's always the first-time home buyer kind of thing that's used out there. The reality is 90% of programs out there even though they say they're geared towards first-time home buyers, don't require people to be an actual first-time home buyer. And
Really?
Yeah, it's kind of like it's a common kind of misnomer, but it's just a term that's used so commonly. What's more so that's used if a loan program does have a first-time home buyer requirement, what they consider a first-time home buyer is someone who has not owned a home in the last 3 years. So as long as you haven't owned a home in the last 3 years, even for those small amount of programs that require that, that's what constitutes. So if you own a home in the 4 or 5 years ago, it's not a first-time home buyer. But going back to programs specifically that are very friendly to first-time home buyers, there's one in particular that we have a lot of success with, and it's called the Family First Funding Opportunity Loan. And what it means is that it's a loan specifically for low to moderate census tracts. So we actually have to take the address, put it into a map, and it'll tell us based on the census tract if the property qualifies for this particular program. But two of the great benefits of it, number one, it's at a reduced interest rate. Currently it's at 5.5%, which is great. So it's about 1/2 to 3/4 less than the overall market, but you can put down as little as 5% and have no PMI.
So if he wants to buy a $300,000 home, he only needs $15,000 down?
$15,000 down. Obviously have closing costs, but that could be done via seller credit, or they can pay their closing costs.
And it's a lower interest rate?
Lower interest rate, and
Wow.
but the key thing too is no PMI.
So how much would that save every month not having to pay PMI on a $300,000 home?
Good question. PMI, the amount of PMI is based on how much the down payment is and what the credit score of the borrower is. So the minimum for the credit score for this program is 660. So, but even still, if someone's buying, and even if they have a 660 score, the PMI, is probably, if they put 5% down, probably going to run them about $180, $200 a month.
So he's saving $200 a month potentially, with a lower interest rate, and he doesn't have to have as much cash for the down payment.
Absolutely.
Wow, that's a great program.
Great program, and you can actually use it to buy a single unit or up to 4 units, which is even better.
So if he rents out the other 3 units, he's paying his mortgage is paid for.
And you can use that rental income to qualify. So there's certain things there. There are the one thing that we always have to be conscious of. There are income caps, and it's based on household income. So you can only make a certain amount of money. But I can tell you, with the low to moderate tracts, it's actually a fairly healthy number. I believe it gets to be as high as 120 to 130,000.
Well, he's just starting out, so he's not there yet.
No, that it could certainly be be workable. And when you're talking about to first-time home buyers, $200 a month, that's a big deal.
That's an awful big deal. Thank you.
You got it. Thank you.